baby. Haven't been started in like 2 weeks. So what's going on, YouTube? Moto Mike 805 here. Today is Saturday, January 8th, I think. And I believe it's about 2 o'clock, maybe 2:30. And this is the first ride of the new year. I have not been on the motorcycles at all this year because I've been walking to work every day. I think I told you I'm trying to get healthier, lose some weight, so I decided I'm walking to work. And I have been. Hey, doggy. But anyways, before we get going, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Comment and share. And we'll get going right after this. So, I haven't done a moto vlog, it feels like, in forever. I'm like sitting here forgetting what do I say? What do I say? But today's moto vlog, we're going to talk about what other hobbies do you all have besides your passion for motorcycles. Let's say my number one passion, outside of family, hobby is motorcycles. I love motorcycles, all kinds. But I know you've got to have other hobbies out there that you guys like, stuff you do, whether it be fishing, or I don't know, coin collecting, I don't know, basket weaving, whatever it is. What other hobbies out there do all you do? So I mentioned before, when I got the new motorcycles, one of the deals was my wife would let me get more motorcycles and keep the motorcycles I have. I got rid of the ham equipment, amateur radio stuff, because it was taking up a lot of room in the house. The antennas in the backyard, she thought looked kind of tacky, so I was like, duh. But I will say, I got rid of all the gear, all my amateur radio stuff back last May or June, so I haven't been on the air or done any amateur radio stuff. What was it, 9 months or 6 months, 7 months, something like that. It's been over a half a year, and I just kind of messing around with that stuff. It was a fun hobby. Some of you out there may be like, why the heck would you want to talk on a radio when you can just pick up your cell phone? True, you can just pick up your cell phone and call somebody, but one of the cool things about amateur radio is if your cell phone fails, the internet's down. We could have a blackout. As long as I got a 12-volt battery, an antenna, and a radio, I can get on and talk to people all over the world without the use of cell towers or the internet, just from radio to radio. So it's always been a real interest of mine. Art Bell, I don't know if you know what Art Bell is. He used to do a paranormal talk show, radio show. He passed away a few years ago. I've been listening to him. God, was probably started over 30 years ago, but he was an amateur radio operator, and he often talked about his love of amateur radio on a show, and sometimes even did non-paranormal shows that he talked about amateur radio and had guests on that were other amateur radio people that were kind of well known in the amateur radio field, or ham radio, whatever you want to call it, amateur radio, ham radio. So that's my other hobby. Oh, and speaking of Art Bell, he did pass away, and with this hobby you were issued an FCC call sign, which is the call sign you use to identify yourself on the air, and people can look up on the FCC database and see who you are and where you live and all that good stuff. Well, when you don't renew a call sign, or you pass away, or I guess those two things, there's probably more, or you get a new call sign, 2 years after that, your call sign goes back into circulation for other people to get. Now, when you pass away, your immediate family is able to obtain your call sign up to 2 years after you pass away, but if no one claims it, then it goes back into circulation. It goes up for grabs. So being a huge art bale fan, I decided to attempt to apply for it. It's kind of like applying for a vanity license plate. The only difference is that when what was I gonna say? Got distracted there. The only difference is that the day it becomes available, if someone else is eyeing that call sign, it goes into a lottery. So like when I ended up, when Art Bell's call sign became available, I applied for it the day it was available, and so did I think 8 other people. So then it goes into a lottery, and the FCC just randomly picks one of the people that apply for it and award them the call sign. So I ended up lucking out, and I have Art Bell's old call sign now, which is Whiskey 6 Oscar Bravo Bravo W6OBB. So the point of today's thing is talking about hobbies. What other passions and hobbies do you guys have? So, like I said, I kind of miss playing amateur radio, but the deal I had with Corey was we wouldn't have the stuff at the house. No ham radio shack, no antennas. But I started thinking, you know what, with this new year, new me stuff, wanting to lose weight, wanting to exercise, there's operations in ham radio where they go portable. They're called Summits on the Air, or SOTA, and Parks on the Air, POTA. And it's basically where you have a QRP radio, which is a low-powered radio, a battery, an antenna. You throw it in a backpack, you go on a hike or you go on a walk, and you set up and you operate portable. So that's what I decided, hey, you know what? That's not breaking my promise. I'm not going to set anything up at the house, and it will get me out more. Now, I haven't checked Summits on the Air to see if there's any summits here that are on the list, but there are multiple parks within probably 30 minutes of me that are on the list for Parks on the Air. So I ordered a radio, a little portable HF radio on Amazon, and it got here a day early. So we're going to go out today, and I'm going to set it up, I think, over in Morro Bay. I don't know if we'll be actually in the area that qualifies for the Parks on the Air, but today's more just a test because I haven't played radio in a while. I haven't set up this portable antenna in a while. The setup, the last time I went portable, I had a radio with 100 watts and a really heavy portable battery that wasn't really portable. So today we're going to be doing low power and see if we have any luck. So I won't go into any more of the technical aspects of this, other than in a few minutes, or instantaneously because of the magic of video editing, we'll be at the beach and we'll be setting up my radio. So we'll see you in a flash. Alright, so this is the setup. I'll show you here. We got the radio. This is the QRP radio, using my cell phone to log calls. And then here's my antenna. Got it hooked up to a fence in an authorized vehicle parking only zone. And the wife drove over. I was going to do it at a picnic table, but there's way too many people, because I don't know if you can see it. There's a line running all the way there over to the motorcycle. That's the counterpoise for the antenna. So I haven't had any luck, so I probably won't get to post talking to anybody. I've heard some people. I can hear myself on a radio out of Utah when I was calling CQ. So the little 5-watt radio is getting out. It's probably really close to my face, to Utah. So anyways, I guess I'm gonna pack up now, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it, and then this video will be over. So catch you in a second. All right, so that was short-lived. Oh, by the way, all that stuff I had fits in this backpack. My antenna, my radio, everything. So right after I shut the camera off, when I said I wasn't having much luck, I think I said that. Did I say that? I don't know. I hadn't made any contacts on the radio yet when I did the quick little video of the setup with the antenna and the radio. As soon as I turned the camera off and got back on the radio, I made 2 contacts back to back really quick and was like, all right, this is awesome, it's gonna be great. And then I start to call for a third contact, and a park ranger walks up. So he's like, yeah, hello, you know, what you up to? And I explained to him what I'm doing. He's like, oh, okay, do you have a drone? And I said, no. I wish I had a drone to make some good Moto vlogs. And anyways, I'm like, no. He's like, oh, someone called and complained and said you were flying a drone over the women's bathroom. And I was like, no, you can go and look in the car. I was like, all I got is this radio, the antenna there. And I explained to him what I was doing. He's like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. He's like, you know, carry on, have a good day. And he leaves. So I start to call for contacts again, and he walks back up about 5 minutes later and says, the reporting party's throwing a fit that I'm not making you leave. He says, you know, I told him you're not doing anything wrong, and they said, well, he's parked in a no parking spot. And the spot I was set up out of that whole parking lot, it doesn't say no parking, but it does say authorized vehicles only. But I was in between both of the access doors, and I could move, you know, if they really needed to. He's like, I do not care, but they're going to keep calling and complaining, and now they've said that you're parked in a no parking area, so if you can just move from here, you can set up anywhere else in here. He's like, I don't care. And he's like, you know, I'm sorry. I was like, no worries. So I started breaking everything down. I was almost all packed up, and sheriff, Slow County Sheriff pulls up now. The other guy was a ranger. So I'm like, I know, I talked to the ranger, I'm heading out. And he's like, yeah, someone called and complained that you had an antenna up. You know, I don't really know why that's a problem. And I was like, yeah, I was like, the ranger told me just to go set up somewhere else. He's like, all right. Then the sheriff asked me for my ID, so I was like, okay, you know, got my wallet out, handed him my ID. When I got my wallet out, he saw that I also work for the county. He's like, oh, you're a county employee? And I was like, yeah, I work for social services. So he's like, oh, okay, have a good day, here you go. Just handed me back my ID without, like, checking it or anything. So, got some grumpy person over there that didn't want me playing ham radio at the state park. Although the rangers, like, just go set up anywhere else in here, but by this one, like, literally there's one spot in that whole area that was no parking, but the reason I went over there is because there was no one over there, and I didn't want people, like, tripping over my wires and stuff. So that's why I went against that little fence there, out of the way, trying to get away from everyone, so I wasn't, like, in front of the cars, people, you know, blocking people's view, trying to see the ocean. I was trying to be curious and set up behind everybody, but nope, somebody still complaining. So look at ham radio. Guys get as much grief as bikers do. So that was it. That is my other hobby. Hopefully my next outing will be more successful, and I won't get people won't complain and have to have the law come out and talk to me. But I was surprised. I made 2 contacts, and both of them said they could hear me really well, which was really cool. I was only running, let's say it's a low power radio. So hey, well, that is it for today. It's probably going to be a long video. I think that it might be kind of long. I'm not sure. So remember, hit that thumbs up, comment, hit that subscribe button, whichever way it's going across the screen. Oh, you can't hit it on the screen, but you know what I mean. Hit the subscribe button, comment, and share. And remember, YouTube, ride like everyone's a hired assassin trying to kill you. Stay safe out there.